So in this video, I wanted to present to you a series of clips where Michi is talking about life as a large content creator, burnout, and some of the differences from working at Nijisanji and working at VShojo. And one of the things she brings up is burnout, and I can't be surprised that she got burnt out because her most recent stream was 14 hours! And one of the things that really struck me after watching this video in particular is when she said that she would work herself to the bone and get zero recognition and get zero rewards for it. She kept saying, they'll have to notice me if I get to such and such milestone, and they never did. And I feel like that is so damning on Nijisanji's part, to allow their talents to work so hard for basically nothing. But I think what struck me most of all in this first clip is how she said that she was working out of fear and how detrimental that was to her mental health. So I want to go ahead and play this clip and really showcase what she had to say.
I didn't hate working, don't get me wrong, but most of the time I worked because I was really scared. I worked out of fear. You know what I mean? Like, you know when you're like working because you're passionate or working because of money. I worked because I was so scared that I was scared of the things that may happen, I guess. Like, I can't say too many things because even though I'm technically not under any contract, I don't want to like say something that's gonna cause like horrible speculations or stuff. I would say that in my dream, I did pretty good. Not amazing by any chance. Like, it wasn't like I was like, oh, I had like 1 million people or I had like a massive everything. But it wasn't that bad, you know? It's honest work, right? But I didn't really like get much. I get like scolded, but I didn't get like many opportunities, if that makes sense, right? And I was scared that if I didn't do well, then the chances, like, you know that meme of like someone digging and then the person next to them is like they stopped and they're so close to getting a diamond? That's how I felt like constantly. Like every day I'm like, oh, I'm so close. They'll notice me now, surely. It did kind of like wear me off. Like, I'll be honest with you, I am burnt out, but not from content. Like, I guess that type of mentality like burns you out in a way. I didn't really get to spend any time with my coworkers or my friends. I didn't really get to like talk with them or chill with them because at that time, I feel like maybe it's because I was new or something. I was still like deep. I was like deep in the like, I'm so close. Or like, I'm so close, I'm gonna get noticed now. Oh, like, I remembered, I was like, I did a good thing. But I even told them, like, I'm not usually the type of person that'd be like, hey guys, guess what happened? I got 100k today. Huzzah, like 100k subscribers. Wow, like, I'm not that kind of person. But on that day, I remembered I did that. I was like, guys, I got 100k. And in my head, I was like, surely something's gonna happen, right? Surely. And then nothing happened. I was like, oh, maybe if I reach 500k. Yeah, I remember I was like, guys, I got 100k. And then I was like, so close. I'm so close. Surely I get something. And then they were like, congrats. And I was like, okay, no. Maybe if I get 150 and then 150 rolls around, nothing. And I'm like, oh, okay, maybe 200, maybe 500. And then I just gave up. Like, I was working so much. And I was so scared. Like, the fear of... I'm gonna be honest with you, chat. As a streamer, one of your biggest fear is the fear of being replaced, right? Until now, I'm so scared of being like forgotten and replaced. Because like, once I run my course, you know, who's gonna watch me no more? Like, there'll be a funnier, more energetic, cooler person that's gonna come after me. My first ever time getting merch was when I debuted in VShojo. My first ever time getting my sponsor was when I work in VShojo. So, is it because I only stream for... Oh, but Michi, you've only been streaming for 4 months. Well, in my dream, I was stuck in that dream for like practically almost 3 years. And I remembered I was like, I didn't get to spend time with anybody. I didn't have time to spend with my family. I never had any time to spend with friends. I was like, all I could think about is like, how do I grow? That was the only mentality I had. Like, I need to grow. And I didn't even care about it. Like, I don't mind not really like growing that fast. You know, like as long as people are happy, that's always what I wanted. But at that time, I'm like, no, I have to grow. I have to get like 500,000 subs. I have to get, I don't know, like 1,000 1,000 to 2,000 viewers.
So not only does Michi talk about how she was working her ass off, she actually goes even further to say later in this clip that she was working 6 days a week and spending her time off planning events and collabs, and it was getting to the point where it was actually putting stress on her relationships with her friends, family, and co-workers. And before she could even think about letting off the gas, she gets pulled into a meeting and they basically tell her, oh, by the way, you're one of the few things keeping this branch afloat right now. So between the pressure she's putting on herself out of fear of failure, now she doesn't have to worry just about her own personal failure, but the failure of her branch as a whole. And I can only imagine how stressful a work-life balance like that could be.
There was a meeting, right, with people. And during the meeting, I was told that since I'm the one, like, I've been working my ass off and I've been like on the grind. So I was like, I hate saying the best doing. It's so weird. It feels so weird saying that. But like just completely like logic numbers based, okay? I was doing the best. I was doing the best because I would work every single day, like 6 days in a week. And the only day I'm free, I'm working on scheduling collabs, I'm scheduling events, I'm scheduling everything, and working on videos. So I stream for 6 days in a week. And then for that one extra day, I would work offline. It's kind of harder too, because if I want to do any projects, I kind of have to do it myself. So there was a lot of stuff that I had to do.
Now, one of the things she touches on in this live stream is the extreme social pressure of having a terrible work-life balance. Even though you might be justified in working crazy hours, not just out of fear of your own personal career failing, but also being explicitly told in a meeting that your branch is kind of resting on your shoulders and how much work you put in. At the end of the day, all other people see is that you're not making time for them, and it's hard to not get the impression that you don't care about other people and all you care about is numbers, because ultimately that's all you're doing. And the level of alienation that causes is so detrimental to your mental health and your relationships.
I guess it was obvious. There were some people that were really upset because they were like, wow, Dream Michi really like excluded herself from everyone else. Like, she thinks she's so much better. She thinks like she doesn't want to be part of Indonesia. She doesn't care about her fellow Indonesians. She doesn't care about her country. She doesn't care about her friends. She just cares about chasing numbers and growing. I'm gonna be so honest with you. Like, the people that were upset at me because they're like, she doesn't want to, like, she doesn't hang out with her friends. She doesn't hang out with her coworkers. All she cares about is numbers. That's true. And I hated it. I was completely neglecting everything. It wasn't just like, oh, you admit to neglecting your coworkers and friends. Yes, I admit to neglecting everyone. I neglected my family. I neglected my own health. I didn't care if I was dying. Like, I need to work. I need to make this work. One of them was, I've never said this before. So like, this is gonna be the first time I'll ever tell you guys this. I had like a conversation with some people in my dream. I let out all my feelings. I was like, hey man, it feels like I'm working this hard for nothing. You know, like, I worked so hard and I'm at the position where I am. Why does it feel like nothing's changed? And they're like, no, Michi, you don't get it. Like, I don't think anything can change, but you are the reason things are afloat. Like, things could have been worse, but because of you, things aren't as bad. I don't think they meant it in a bad way, but in my head, that was the time it clicked for me. I was like, holy fucking shit. If I slow down, it's gonna affect everyone. Like, if I slowed down, or if I stopped, or if I gave up, it's gonna affect everyone. And I didn't want anyone to be hurt. Or like, I didn't want anyone to be sad, or I didn't want the situation to get worse. Like, the situation was already shit. So I was like, got it. I understand. So then I doubled my work. Like, I put in so much more because I'm like, I can't. Like, at this point, it's like, I'm not even working because I want things to be better for me. I'm working so then things don't get worse for everyone else. So I'm just like, okay, I gotta do this. I gotta do this. I gotta keep doing this. I gotta keep spreading this. And did I do it well? No, probably not. And then eventually everything went to shit. So I was like, what the fuck? You told me. You promised me. I was like, you told me things wouldn't get worse. Why is it getting worse? So I that's when I realized. I was like, okay, you know what? I don't know, man. In a group of so many people, chat, there's bound to be clashes, right? Like, imagine having a friend group of like 20 people. Someone is not gonna like someone else, and that's fine. And like, imagine if there's like, I don't know, more than 100 people. Someone might not like someone else. That's like very common, you know? And I totally understand where they're coming from, because there was a point where there were some people that didn't quite like me, right? Not because of anything. Like, it's very understandable because I was so like MIA. Like, I was gone. You know, I rarely talk to my friends. I rarely talk to my coworkers. I rarely respond. Like, if let's say someone's like, hey, we have this thing going on, I can't. I'll be like, I can't join this right now because I have another collab. Or like, oh, I can't join this right now because I have another event to sort out. Like, there were so many times I couldn't join some stuff. When I can, I always do, but it's so rare. And I will admit it, it's my fault. Like, I did not put in the effort to maintain a relationship, right? And because of that, some people had this assumption that I was very, like, stuck up my ass. You know what I mean? Like, I was very, like, oh, I'm sorry. You are a smaller streamer, and I am now a bigger streamer. And because of that, we can't interact. And I understand. I completely understand why people have that mentality of me. Because of what I did. Honestly, there were times I even just played into the villain role. Like, I agreed with what everyone was saying. People were saying, like, such mean things. And I just agreed. I was like, yep. I would double down. They'd be like, just admit that you hate your coworkers. And I was like, yeah, okay. I hate my coworkers. I would double down. Because it's so much easier. It's so much easier to just lean into a horrible narrative than to change people's minds. Because the thing is, I can't prove myself. You know, like, at that time, I can't prove shit. I was under, like, strict NDA, and all the proof is strict under NDA, and it's like, I can't prove shit, dude. I can't even show my coworkers proof because I'd be breaking my own contract. So it's like, I remember there was a time I did get confronted by one of my friends. They were like, hey, man, I have to be honest, this is how I feel. And I couldn't say anything but sorry. I was like, I'm sorry. And they're like, do you have anything to say? I was like, I can't. Like, you don't get it. I can't say anything. All I can say is sorry. Like, you are so valid. If I were you, I'd feel the same. But I swear to God, like, I care about you. I really do. I care about everyone. I can't say anything, though. I can't prove anything. So it's just like, my lips are sealed. I was like, I can't even say, like, I'm doing this for you. Like, that, it's like, what? You know, you're not. You're not doing this for us. You're doing this for yourself. And I'm like, I have proof, but I can't send it to you. So... yeah, okay, lah, just sorry, lah. So, I could have just been fucking stupid. And I took things, like, the wrong way. And, like, I misunderstood what they were talking about. And worked my ass off for absolutely nothing. But deep down in my heart, I did that because I wanted to make sure everyone was fine.
The next thing I want to show you guys is an edited version of this clip where she talks about her two breaking points when it came to leaving Nijisanji. Obviously obfuscated through several layers of, oh, this was a dream about Bethany and not myself, no names, blah, 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 blah. But basically, to give you a summarized version, she says that she had serious issues with money, not making the money she felt she was owed, Nijisanji not being transparent with her money, and taxes being a nightmare. And if that wasn't enough, there was a separate time where she went to the Nijisanji offices and saw her play button, which they never gave her, behind a display case. And she made a joke about stealing it, and they threatened to kick her out of the building. Nijisanji truly does not give a shit about their talents. And if you're gonna be disrespected and underpaid, there's literally no reason to stay at that company. Especially when you're working at a company where, as we've talked about previously, even when she did achieve above and beyond what was expected of her, she got nothing for it.
I am very much loyal to a T. However, there are two instances that really got me like a bit shaken up. The thing that broke the camel's back was definitely the money thing. Business is business, no matter what. I won't fuck with your cash. Don't fuck with mine. And here's the thing, I appreciate VTuber for this. They are very, very transparent with their like cash flow and all of that. And I really appreciate it. What I need is if VTuber says, hey Michi, you earned $5,000. And I'm like, okay, can I have proof? And then they don't send me proof. That's fine, but give me $5,000, no questions asked. However, if you say, Michi, you earn $5,000, and then you don't give me $5,000, and then you give me dead, that's when we're gonna have a problem. I can be as lenient as I can when it comes to people, but when it comes to business, I take it quite seriously. No one fucks with my cash. No one fucks with chat's cash. Once upon a time, I dreamt that I was traveling, and I decided to visit the place that I worked for in my dream. Let's not say let's just say Bethany. Once upon a time, a girl named Bethany was traveling, and Bethany decided to visit a built-in office in which Bethany was working for. During that visit, Bethany was very excited because this is where Bethany is working. Bethany saw on the walls there were a bunch of cool achievements. One of them had Bethany's name on it, and Bethany wanted to take a picture, but no can do. Bethany made a joke about jokingly being like, you know, the hand gesture where you like, oh, shh, yoink, you know what I mean? So Bethany made a joke being like, ooh, shh, yoink, like that, and like laughing about it. And then Bethany got scolded for making a distasteful joke. Bethany thought people would take jokes easily and not have people think that Bethany was actually a thief. And a little bit, that made Bethany feel pretty bad. Because it made Bethany feel like, wait a minute, did they really think that Bethany would steal? What kind of person do you think Bethany is? And the scolded was, we will kick you out of the building, scold. And Bethany, that hurt Bethany's feelings. That sucked. Bethany was on the other side of the room looking at the manager and being like, haha, shh. Bethany definitely could have screwed shit up. Because here's the thing, chat, in my hypothetical story for children, volume 6, page 12, Bethany remarks, the shit you see online, that's just one side of the story. What Bethany experienced was a whole completely different story. A whole DLC, I dare say. And if this DLC ever came to light, you're lucky Bethany has an honor code. You're lucky. And then the straw that broke the camel's back was the money thing. So all of that altogether kind of was Bethany's tipping point. There's a good ending to this. Now Bethany can just sit back, look to her left, and boom, right there. But weirdly enough, it says presented to Mochi Mochievee and Scammers. What a weird way to spell Bethany. But now Bethany can take as much pictures as Bethany wants, baby girl. Let's go!
You know, I genuinely don't believe that there's any company on this earth that is deservedly free of any criticism. And there's definitely things worth criticizing about VShojo that myself and others have talked about in great detail in other places. But I have to say, it's hard not to love VShojo when you contrast it against the terrible way talents, both professional and personal lives were when they were working at Nijisanji, and how they go on and on about how much better their lives are working for VShojo. And I have to say, I genuinely hope that when VShojo says they're opening auditions, that they're truly opening up broad, spanning, open auditions, and not just some rainbow retirees. You know what I mean? There are so many people out there in this space who are working their asses off and deserve a break and shouldn't have to go through the meat grinder that is Nijisanji in order to end up at a place as good as VShojo. I truly want nothing more than the best possible experience for talented creators in this space that is so important to myself and so many other fans out there. That is all I have to say. I appreciate you tuning in. Bye, guys.